Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we take another look at the damage caused by hail across the Commonwealth. And the Kentucky State Police go virtual and undercover to protect the safety of children online.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6:01 on Wednesday, June 28th. Now let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, two big topics this morning are the fog and the haze.
Yep.
Had to make sure I got that right.
Fog and the haze, you're right. So we're seeing the fog now. Probably see the haze later. The sun is trying to come up in some locations, but I'm afraid it's going to be obscured. We have some air quality alerts to our north, and of course the National Weather Service office at Jackson has basically put out an alert for us, but it's not as bad here as it is in some places to our north. Let's take a look, see what's going on at I-75 at Mount Vernon this morning. This is looking northbound. There's some of that fog already out there. A little bit of light traffic in Rockcastle County to start your day. Temperatures kind of in the 50s and 60s, so not too bad this morning as you head out the door. Fairly mild, a little bit cooler in some spots. You've got 50s in Clintwood, Wise, Jonesville, Moorhead, and Williamsburg. Everybody else is in the 60s to start the day. Your breakdown, it's going to be a warm one. 85 out there this afternoon. I'm not going to rule out a stray chance for a pop-up shower or storm in the heat of the day, but I do believe we all stay, for the most part, dry this afternoon. Enjoy it. If you like the heat, enjoy that, because it's only going up from here. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon. Homeowners across the state are still reeling from the damaging effects of the severe storms from Sunday. Alexa Minton has more.
Hail damage has ravaged the state of Kentucky, leaving thousands grappling with destruction of property. The hail was associated with the intense lines of severe thunderstorms, providing the perfect conditions for hail to litter the landscape. Size reports range from marble and pea-sized hail all the way up to reports of baseball-sized hail, damaging homes, plastic siding, and the Tyvek installed to protect the home from weather conditions.
It's a weather resistant between your wood and your plastic siding. So that Tyvek, if it has holes in it, then your OSB or your wood is exposed to where it could get wet, moist. It could go through your walls, so on and so forth.
Temperatures at the surface can be extremely warm, but as you trend up in the atmosphere, cooler air can not only help fuel storms, it can also cool some water droplets. Updrafts of air can push droplets above the point of freezing, allowing ice layers to form. Hail will continue to grow within the cloud until the weight of hail is too heavy, pushing it to crash towards the surface. The longer the hailstone stays suspended at the top of the cloud, the larger the hail will become. And the stronger the updraft, the longer the hail stays in the cloud, and the more water droplets can freeze to it, giving us varying sizes of hail.
You definitely want to make sure that anywhere that rain or I guess hail can come in, if we do get more hail or sleet, you want to make sure those spots are covered up. Windows, you want to make sure you board them up. You know, if you got it plasticed off right now, I mean, if any chance of high winds and precipitation, you're going to want to have those boarded up.
Hail risks can always be potential with severe weather, so it's important to make sure you are prepared for how to handle hail damage, both in the moment and in the aftermath.
So, I mean, if you haven't already found a contractor who's going to take over your work, find one, call a buddy, call a friend. Let's get some tarps over some of these siding holes.
In Lexington, Alexa Minton, WKYT.
And in other news, Prestonsburg Police Chief Randy Woods has resigned. Mayor Les Stapleton confirmed the resignation with WYMT. Chief Woods was sworn in on July 19th, 2021. He's been on the job for nearly 2 years. Director of Public Safety Ross Shurtleff will act as the interim chief. The announcement comes just days before the one-year anniversary of the shooting in the Allen community that killed 3 officers and a canine. A Kentucky labor union is asking for the state executive branch ethics committee to investigate political donations made to Attorney General Daniel Cameron. We first told you Monday that he is accused of soliciting campaign donations from a drug treatment center that his office is investigating. The Attorney General's office started that investigation last year. His campaign says those donations were later refunded and he recused himself from that case. Now the AFL-CIO is asking for a new ethics investigation. They say it's necessary to ensure accountability for elected officials. The Kentucky Lantern reports a judge dismissed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of 2 Kentucky laws that ban near all abortions in the state yesterday. We told you last week the ACLU filed a motion to dismiss the case. A state Supreme Court decision prompted the move. Justices say abortion providers lack standing to sue on behalf of patients. Now ACLU lawyers are looking for people trying to get abortions who want to challenge the ban. Groups like Kentucky Right to Life are celebrating the motion to dismiss. Kentucky State Police recently arrested a Trigg County man as part of an undercover internet crimes against children investigation. The man was arrested for attempting to engage a minor in sexual acts, a situation that several law enforcement officials say happens all too often. WYMT's Alyssa Williams checked in with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office to learn more about how caregivers can help prevent this from happening to their own kids.
In today's world, nearly everyone is on social media, but with an online presence comes many people who like to take advantage of these digital platforms.
Oftentimes it's some of the social media platforms where we see the most problems. We see threats sometimes on there. We see people misrepresenting themselves on there to individuals, and especially kids that, you know, if their parents haven't talked to them about internet safety and social media safety.
Gilbert Achardo with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office says caregivers should be monitoring their kids' online presence, especially for kids under 15.
Is sit down with your child and talk to them. Tell them that just because it's on the internet or on social media platform doesn't mean it's safe, and people will can misrepresent themselves. They're faceless and nameless.
Kids should never engage with strangers online or share personal details about themselves, including their age, full name, and where they live or go to school.
They're your child forever, even when they get older, but especially when they're young and impressionable, you need to monitor their activity, see what's going on, and you can do it in the right fashion.
Aiming to keep kids and their caregivers aware of the dangers that lurk online. In Laurel County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Achardo says kids should never send photos or post photos online unless they have their parents' permission. Staying in Laurel County, the Sheriff's Department has arrested a man for theft. 26-year-old Kenny Wagers from Manchester is charged with burglary and trespassing after he was caught from a business off US 25 just north of London. Police began their search for him last week, and he was arrested on Monday. He's being held in the Clay County Jail. Police in Moorhead are asking for your help to find the person who broke into a church. It happened at the First Baptist Church, and police say the suspect broke in and stole a large amount of money from a church fundraiser. Anyone with information is asked to call the Moorhead Police Department using the number you see on your screen. A Monticello man is charged with assaulting his mother at an apartment in Wayne County. On Monday night, officers from the Monticello Police Department responded to the Mason Green apartment complex on Stoke Street. They discovered 19-year-old Devin Fitzpatrick had assaulted his mother and then left his home. While the mother was being interviewed, a Wayne County Sheriff's deputy spotted Fitzpatrick on a nearby street while responding to another call and was able to bring him back to the scene. He is now being held in the Wayne County Detention Center.
6:09 here on this Wednesday morning, middle of the week, middle of the road forecast, and we're going to continue to see the possibility for some storms come into play after today. Let's take a look at Jenkins this morning. Some fog, some haze, both those out there today. Wildfire smoke continues to drift down from Canada. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s as you head out the door this morning. 57 Clintwood to 66 in Monticello. That's our range. A lot of low to mid 60s out there. Across the state and region, 59 Cincinnati, and I believe everybody else is in the 60s. Let's see who the warmest spot is this morning. Looks like Nashville at 68 down to the south. So wildfire smoke is back. We are going to heat up over the next few days, and we do have those storm chances we're tracking. I'll have the latest on all of those coming up here in just a little bit. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, recent audio recordings of former President Donald Trump involve him discussing classified documents at his New Jersey golf club.